Welcome to Double Shot of Steelers presented by FanDuel. He's Chris Halleck. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. We're at our downtown Pittsburgh headquarters getting ready to do this particular program after Mike Tomlin had his press conference today. Some injury updates.
He started his press conference weird today.
What do you mean?
He normally, like, the pre-ramble starts, as you like to say.
Yeah.
It starts with a recap
Don't tell
of
him
the game.
that I call it that.
It starts with a recap of the game.
Yeah.
He went into injuries right away. Right away.
Actually, you want to know something, Chris? Since we switched spots in Baltimore,
Yeah.
he did that in Baltimore too.
Really?
So I don't know if that's like a new thing or if that was just things that's
He's
top
throwing
of
us
mind.
a curveball.
Yeah, that's not normal for him, but maybe that's top of mind because of the concussions.
There were a lot of concussions.
And there are still a lot of concussions, unfortunately. I like the way he handled that issue, though. He said, we're going to leave that to the medical professionals. That's something that everything that I feel in there, they do a good job of. Darnell Washington, who else right now has a concussion?
Let's see. Andrew Speed also has a concussion, and going to our Steelers feed. Darnell Washington is one. Andrew Speed, and then the other one is Malik Harrison.
Oh, Malik.
Malik Harrison. How could we forget that one?
Especially how scary that looked. Yeah, exactly. Now, he also addressed a few other things, but I'm sure that the headline out of it is going to be his remark about about how he's going to bounce back or how he has always been in the fire or anything. You're kind of...
I almost feel like... Now, I understand people are going to continue to talk about it.
It didn't need to be asked necessarily today.
It didn't need to be asked. Well, as soon as the question was asked, and this is not a shot at anybody who was asking the question because there were multiple questions about it, but it's almost like, okay, are we kind of over this now? Or is this just going to be talked about the rest of the season?
Well, I guess there's a couple of ways to look at that. And I see what you're saying. When you're asking the head coach, hey, what did it feel like to have a building full of people in your hometown? Well, no, the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. It's totally, completely, it had happened. It just happened.
Right.
In stadium.
Right.
Okay. But then you look at, then he wins. Okay. And it came up again last Tuesday, by the way, this press conference. Then he wins. The Steelers win. They beat the Ravens in their building. It never came up in that press conference that I was in. I sure wasn't going to. What would be the point? Mm-hmm. What was it like, Mike, to not be booed in Baltimore? I mean, you just didn't have, there's just nothing there.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening after that? His next game is his home game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is the last chance for anybody who doesn't know how this stuff works. This is the last chance that we have to talk to the head coach, barring an unusual circumstance, until after the next game. So, it's not comfortable. I see what you're saying.
No, I get. I'm not saying that it should just go away. I'm definitely not saying that because again, this is the first. I mean, it was a big deal because it was the first time we had ever heard. I mean, we had heard fans for years at this point be done with Tomlin. I'm over it. I'm tired of the 9-8 every year. I get it, but then when you're talking, the guy gets literally chanted to be fired. Like, it's a big deal. Like,
when you've been around for almost 2 decades in the position, it's a very, very big deal.
It is. And I'm not downplaying that at all. But what I am saying is, okay, that all happened. We talked about it all week long. They then go into Baltimore and they win a really big football game. Mm-hmm. And they take first place. And then we're still getting the same question, almost the same exact question. How did you feel about getting, like it just happened on Sunday? Like, that's the kind of thing where I'm kind of like...
that's old.
That's old news.
Yeah, that's throwing at somebody in baseball after you've already faced them in 5 straight at-bats.
Right.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You're going to hit me now.
Right. Yeah. That was between, Chapman and McCutcheon back in the day?
Oh, that's actually happened so much. You're thinking of whenever Chapman was with the Reds and everything.
Yeah. I know that's happened so many different times throughout baseball.
Dusty Baker was throwing at Kutch.
Yeah.
That's who was throwing. Make no mistake. Dusty wasn't on the mound. Dusty was making all those calls from
100%.
From the dugout. Back when the Pirates had a rival, everybody.
Oh, yeah. They were actually good.
They were good for.
They were good, and they didn't have to offer 4 years, $120 million for Kyle
Now
Schwarber to
that'll
do
be
it.
quite enough here on Double Shot of Pirates out of you. Smith family here says, DK and Chris, do they even have enough backups to cover further injuries to the offensive line, or do they have to sign someone or two?
They're probably gonna have to bring somebody.
I think they have to bring somebody in, even if it's just depth, right?
just
Like
Broderick Jones.
emergency depth.
Yeah, Broderick Jones is on IR, so he's not playing.
You saw Calvin Anderson on crutches.
He's on crutches, and he's already ruled out.
Okay.
Like Tomlin ruled him out today. So that's 2 guys not playing. Andrew Speed's in concussion protocol. That's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes these guys can clear the protocol, in 1 week. They're right back the next week. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Pete actually looked pretty good.
What?
We,
Something to say to me?
we will get her to turn that phone off before she does. She's supposed to be telling us stuff like that.
We and rightfully so. We do need to be put in our place pretty frequently.
That's right.
But literally right before we were going live, she hit the live button, and as the intro was playing, I said, "Turn your phone off."
He did. He did. He was specific too. He was looking right at her.
It happens.
Turn your phone off.
Oh, I did not disobey instructions. I didn't hear you.
That's all right.
Fine. But see, it's important. This was an important phone call.
Tell her no microphone, no speaker.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Pete was actually playing pretty well.
He was.
That's the part that
He was.
not great.
Yeah.
Not great. You weren't seeing the offensive line get much of a running push at all, to say the least. So I don't want to overstate it. I also don't want to overstate, by the way, the offensive line and how they handled the Baltimore pass rush. I know Aaron Rodgers was purposely, you could tell, going over the top. Oh, these guys were excellent. Because he wasn't sacked. That doesn't mean they were good.
Well, their pass rush is not good.
That means that their pass rush is nothing special, and that also means that Rodgers was nimble.
He was nimble.
He was nimble.
Even so much so to give you an extra comment as he was
Nimble
leaving.
was the comment.
Yeah, nimble
As he was
was the
walking
comment.
out of the press conference room. Turned around and looked at me and said, "Nimble."
Nimble.
Guys, when we come back, we're gonna get into a fun topic for today. I promise. It'll be right after this message. For those of you who are doing real work in construction, in a warehouse, if you're a mechanic, you want reliable, comfortable gear to help you perform well on the job. Brunt Workwear's got you. They've got waterproof boots, safety toe, soft toe, pull-on, lace-up, whatever you need. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know of any other brand doing that. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use the code DK Sports and you're good to go. After you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor here at DK Pittsburgh Sports and tell them it was from this show. Hey guys, welcome back. This program, as mentioned earlier, is presented by our good friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. We have a line yet on Pittsburgh, Miami.
3.5. Steelers favored by 3.5.
You know, there's not going to be a whole lot of respect for the Miamis,
There should be.
but they're getting there.
They've won 4 straight.
They've won 4 straight.
Mike Tomlin today was very, very specific.
What do you mean by that?
But I mean, he was talking about. Let me go into my notes here from the press conference. He specifically cited how well they are at just literally stopping the other team from scoring right now. Like it's like less than 13 points per game. He talked about how often they're taking the ball away. I think he said 9 takeaways in the past 4 games, and they're stopping teams on 3rd down consistently. I think he threw the.
That sounds like a bend but don't break. It sounds like what the Steelers did actually in Baltimore.
Right, but he said those are all reasons why and more of why they've won 4 straight games. And they're now 6-7.
Yeah,
They're right there.
I'll say this. I mean, they, out of those 4 wins that you're citing, the one that's impressive is beating Buffalo. I know that was a surprise to a lot of people when it happened.
Beating them.
30-13 was and then but since then they've faced the Commanders, who aren't what they were last season.
Not at all.
They barely eked out one against the Saints, and they destroyed the other Jets, as everybody tends to do. So we'll see how that goes. I mean,
but if you think the
they're
Steelers are gonna
6-7, you're also playing for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, but either way, if you still think the Steelers are going to cover that spread, then you should probably go to the FanDuel Sportsbook and log in your. I'm probably going to put together a parlay on the game. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm gonna survey it for the next few days and I'll put something together. We'll see.
Well, whatever your game happens to be, the FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so that you can join in on all the action, and you can wonder whether or not Tua can win in the cold.
He has not done yet. He has not done that. I looked up his record. He's 0-7 in games under 46 degrees.
You got to be kidding.
Google AI does not lie, DK.
You've got to be kidding me.
Google AI does not lie at all.
Of course it does.
It never lies. According to Google AI, Tua is 0-7 in games 46 degrees or less.
Tua, he is from. I'm trying to see where he's from originally. I know he was a quarterback at the University of Alabama.
Alabama.
Where's his birthplace?
I'm not trying to jinx them, Mr. CJ Jr. I promise. Plus, jinx does not exist.
He's from Hawaii.
He is from Hawaii. Hawaii is not a cold
They don't have
state.
a whole lot of 46 degrees in Hawaii.
Southernmost state in the United States, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it's Florida. It's actually Hawaii.
It's not the Florida Keys. It's like Hawaii's even further south than
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Hawaii is like significantly further south than Florida.
Well, if you have a quarterback who fears the cold, I don't know what else to say to you. I mean, there's got to be some weird coincidence factors to that, but I wonder if that would be the kind of thing that would affect betting line. I'm serious. If you know that the quarterback is 0-7 in a certain setting, and the quarterback's your most important position and your most influential betting thing, I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The forecasts are I looked a couple days ago. The forecast for Monday, a high of 21 and a low of 12.
In Hawaii?
No. Right here.
Right here in Pittsburgh.
In downtown Pittsburgh. And it'll be the same over on the North Shore, too. So it's going to be really, really, really cold.
Our friend Simon Chester from our soon-to-be partners, I guess, someday that Pro Football Focus comes in and says, at least no one's talking about TJ Watt's PFF grade anymore, so it's not all bad. Simon, take that back, because TJ's PFF grade can't be very good. I haven't seen it of late, but
I haven't looked.
TJ has not been super visible, shall we say, and he wasn't again in Baltimore. Yeah, we love having Simon pop in here. Simon actually is with PFF, you guys. It's not a hoax or a
TJ
prank.
is ranked 35th out of 112 edge rushers in the NFL with a 72.4.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be talking about that one much.
Alex Highsmith, 81.4, which ranks 15th out of 112. Nick Herbig, 89.3, which ranks 5th.
Simon
out of 112.
confirms, as only the PFF scientists can phrase something, it is not good at all.
Simon, can you maybe we can have a conversation later, but I would love to have a conversation / debate on what goes into a big time throw.
Jacob says PFF knew more than us the whole time. We just didn't want to believe it. No, come on. PFF did not give TJ failing grades in their clear attempt to pump up Myles Garrett.
Gonna have some fun with that one.
Mm-hmm. Simon says, we love Nick. Yeah, how can you not? I mean, his path to the quarterback is even his curvature is a straight line.
Yeah.
I mean, he bends the what's the term? The time warp continuum. You know?
By the way, I made a joke earlier today. Phillip Rivers is back in the NFL, by the way. I don't know if you've heard about that. Mike Tomlin didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers is back in the NFL. He signed with the Colts practice squad. Aaron Rodgers is no longer the oldest player in the NFL. It is now Phillip Rivers. And
by a mile.
I made a joke today. Phillip Rivers is a grandfather, and there was some sort of age difference where like somebody is older
Ever been
than
a grandfather quarterback in you?
I don't know, but I feel
Like George Blanda or somebody like that from the olden days.
something about the Rivers family tree, though, I feel like is going to break the space-time continuum.
Here it is again.
with like that was the joke I made in the media room today, was like, I feel like with all this talk about Phillip Rivers kids, they're older than this or not older than that, or Phillip Rivers is so, I don't know, but I feel like it's like the entire space-time continuum is about to be disrupted. But it's crazy. I mean, 44 years old. He hadn't played since 2020. He's on the ballot to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I mean, as soon as he takes a snap, he's no longer eligible.
Yeah, they have to restart.
He resets his clock.
They reset the clock. Yeah. That's
So if he ever takes a snap for the Colts this season, it's done.
yeah. I once covered somebody who was already in the Hall of Fame and then kept playing.
Who's that?
66.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I was talking about football.
I know,
They
because
did wait for
there was
Mario,
no
though.
waiting period for Mario.
No.
There was not much suspense to that one.
No. Did they wait for Gretzky, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they said after that they weren't going to do it anymore.
Okay. Have they done it since?
No,
Okay.
but
At least they've been consistent.
they haven't had to deal with Sid yet.
That's true.
Ovechkin.
And Ovechkin. I mean, you talk about the all-time goal scoring leader, and Sid, who's
They're going to have to be doing some things.
yeah.
I don't think there's any question.
Double shot of Penguins will be coming up later today at 4:30.
Yeah, exactly. Steeler Girl, of course, does come in with the obligatory current weather report in Hawaii and says that in Tualand, she doesn't say that I did, it's 78 degrees there. And she said, and that's cool for us.
There you go.
Do we ban her for this? What is that?
No.
It's cool for us.
Well, it is cool in Hawaii. It is. I've never been to Hawaii, but my wife has. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Well,
never-
Navy. I mean, she wasn't stationed in Hawaii, but there are a lot of places where there are Navy ports that she's been to.
I'm not a warm weather / beach guy.
Well, my wife has been to the hottest place on the planet because of the Navy. Djibouti, Africa. Literally like one of the hottest places on the planet.
Oh.
She actually said when she got off the plane, she thought the engine was blowing air on her. And then as soon as the engine shut off, the heat didn't go away. So she's like, well, it definitely wasn't the engine. It's just this hot.
Oh, boy.
It was terrible.
I spent a month in Africa once when I was young, but not Djibouti. It was on the other side.
Yeah, that's like the arm, like Djibouti, Somalia is like literally not like a shot of the people there or anything. It's literally like the armpit of the world. Like it's just.
Yeah, I'll
it's-
bet they don't want it to be called that.
No. So like
They're
Houston,
like in Djibouti.
like Houston doesn't want to be called the armpit of Texas, but it is.
Well, that's different. That's because they have cockroaches the size of small dogs.
It's true. And it's hot
really
and,
do.
And it's hot and sweaty
can't-
like an armpit.
When you walk through Houston, you carry around the cockroach. You have to take them on. You have to be leashed.
It's true, man. Can't stand Houston.
I don't actually mind Houston much. The cockroaches are it's a real thing.
No, I know. I've seen them.
Yeah, it's like you're just gonna everywhere you look, it's like the end of the world here. Football.
Which, by the way, the Steelers might have to go to Houston later this year if they make the playoffs and win a playoff game. That would possibly be one of their things if Houston can get in there. Houston's playing a lot better now.
Alex Correa says, hopefully we get a Steelers team that's prepared and not a Mike Tomlin come out flat after a win, after another must win. Here's the thing. You can roll your eyes at what Alex is saying, or you can find the actual truth in it. In other words, you could say, hey, Alex, man, way to repeat all the narratives and everything. That's right there. That's the story of the Steelers 2025 season to date. When they have
been up and
really,
down.
really needed to pull something off, they've pulled it off.
Yeah. Backs against the wall, they get a win.
Right
Yeah.
back to the beginning. Up to and including even within games where they've come back a couple of times, they've taken care of business, they got the result at the end. Now, if you want to call that mojo or moxie or whatever from the positive context, I'll go with Alex and point out that it's both ways. It's indefensible that they have had these lulls right after they've done well.
It's true.
And it's not the usual Tomlin's, record against bad teams or lesser teams.
like
This isn't that.
No.
This is they get up and they get down.
Yeah. Now, I think it's been different every single season, but definitely the story of this season's team has definitely been the inability to stack wins, at least ever since the 4-1 start. Okay, obviously you have to stack wins if you're gonna start 4-1, but it's like since then, since the Bengals kind of broke the Steelers in Week 7, this is what this team has done. They've been up and down. They've gotten the wins when they were like, again, backs against the wall. We can't let this slip away. They beat the Colts. Then they come back, they beat the Bengals when the Bengals come to Pittsburgh, and they get that win. Then their backs are against the wall again, and they have to go to Baltimore. They find a way to win. You know, now it's about, okay, we got to stack something. We have to actually put another good that I think is more about, instead of feeding into the narrative that, hey, the team always comes out flat. That's probably, if you go over Mike Tomlin's history since he's been the coach here since 2007, that's probably not the case. Like it's a misnomer or just a myth, like the whole thing about like being the losing record to teams with losing records. But it is, to Alex's point, it is a thing this year for sure. They have been so up and down,
and it's been independent of the opponent. It really hasn't mattered who they're playing. It's more a matter of the situation. It's more a matter of whatever the environment is around them, where they are in the standings. Have they put themselves into a spot where everybody, like all of us, are ripping on them and everything, and they feel some heat, they feel some pressure, and they perform. Yeah. Or here come the Colts. They perform. Here comes the trip to Ireland, and they perform. Mm-hmm. That's not okay. That's not okay. You're supposed to be getting up for this stuff regardless. Excuse me. Wandering Warrior says it's still not attacking the middle of the field at all on offense.
Well,
there was some.
Well, also, I'm going to say one thing about that. You look at the chart, and you can say, yeah, they didn't attack the middle of the field. There was one pass that if there wasn't a Raven who jumped like with a 56-inch vertical and batted that pass right back into Rodgers' face.
Yeah, he had, who was it?
Thielen.
He had Thielen.
Right down the middle of the field.
That's exactly what they were going for.
Wide bleeping open. I mean, we don't have the conversation about the middle of the field.
Well, we still might, but the Ravens made a good play.
They made a good play, but I'm just saying, if that guy at the line of scrimmage, I don't remember who batted it down, if that guy doesn't bat it down, we're not having the same conversation. It still might be it wasn't enough, but there would have been a massive chunk play unless Thielen would have dropped a pass or Rodgers would have just completely misfired. And the way Rodgers was playing, I doubt he would have misfired. That play would have been big. It might have been a touchdown. I mean, Thielen was wide open.
Jacob says, if we lose Darnell for this game, could it be a good thing? I know what you mean. Don't jump all over Jacob. He's not hoping that Darnell is concussed. Concussions are serious things.
Yes, they are.
It forces the Steelers to use Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith more. Maybe some trust is built for when Darnell comes back. I go after Jacob a little bit here. What do you want to see from Jonnu? What more do you want to see from him? And I'm not being a jerk here. I've told you guys many times I really, really like the guy.
Yeah.
I've gotten to know him. But it's not happening for him. And
I actually think the Jonnu thing is more about Arthur Smith than it is about Jonnu.
What do you mean by that?
I don't like the way that they've tried to get Jonnu the ball. They don't give him the ball in a lot of instances in order to get catch and run unless it's a screen. And screens rely on blockers, and if the blockers don't get there, there's no screen. I don't think that Arthur's put him in the best position to get yards after the catch, and that's kind of Jonnu's thing.
That's fair. I feel that my counter to that would be, what have you liked from Jonnu? What have you seen that you've liked? Like, what's the play that works? Yeah, you're going to struggle with that one. There isn't much there.
Well, there's not a large
there hasn't
sample
been much
size.
there.
There just isn't.
Yeah, there hasn't been much. In contrast, I look at what Pat does when he comes in.
He's reliable.
He's Pat.
Yeah, he's reliable.
Pat. And I don't know if it's a blocking thing. I don't believe it's a doghouse thing.
It's not a doghouse thing, and Pat's not the best blocker, but my God,
he got to be better than Jonnu.
No, he is. There might not be a tight end in football who's worse blocking than Jonnu.
Okay.
But Pat was also a phenomenal. I'm not okay. I'm trying to be fair here. Jonu's. If you're lining him up to be your blocking receiver, phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's what you want to get. Like, he's a phenomenal blocking receiver. But as soon as you're, again, part of that might be who he's being asked to block. You should never be asking Johnny Smith to block Greg Rousseau on 4th and short.
This happened.
You should not be doing that at all. But that also goes to show that, do the Steelers have a tight end on the roster who's capable of doing that? The answer is yes, but it's not Jonnu.
No.
But no, Pat is definitely a better blocker. Not that I would call Pat like a great blocking tight end. He's definitely a receiving first guy. But Pat, shoot, man, that you pointed it out during the game. That block he had on Gainwell's touchdown run.
Oh, don't call it a block.
No, I know. Blocks.
3 blocks. 3 blocks on that Kenny Gainwell touchdown around left end. Pat went 1, 2, and then 3 for the natural hat trick on the way around. And you want to know something? He was getting ready to chip a 4th. If you watch the play closely, he's getting ready to line up on a 4th guy, which had to be the NFL record if he would have achieved it. Taking 4 guys out.
Pat is catching 80% of his targets.
And he's doing that too. He doesn't drop the ball.
That is the highest percentage on the team.
Look at his first down rate, as long as you have that open.
Yeah, outside of running backs.
What's his first down rate?
First down, well, let's see. He's caught a total of 28 passes, 12 of them for first downs.
That's
nearly
pretty
half.
good.
Nearly
That's
half.
pretty good. Major Headache earns himself a permanent lifetime ban from our community by saying, "Don't you hate getting sand in Djibouti?"
Okay.
You're lucky she wasn't listening.
She wasn't listening because she probably would have laughed at that.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out how to perfect your sound. You guys are not sounding great.
No, she says the audio isn't great today. We've had some issues
We
with being in the same room and stuff.
to literally try to peel back the curtain on this. We stayed how late yesterday?
It was late.
2 hours.
It was late.
At least 2 hours late yesterday trying to work this out, and we thought we had it down. We get here today, and it's right back to what it was. So we are still working through the kinks on this.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we need the smooth jazz voices back.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah, that's not me.
It can be with the right settings.
Yeah.
Jordan Jarvie wants to know if Omar Khan can have a say on who Mike Tomlin hires to the coaching staff. They all have a say on everything. That's the Steelers' way. There's a final ruling. There's a final call. And that belongs to Art Rooney II. That's it.
Usually the coaches, though, Tomlin's.
Sure. But they all discuss it.
Oh, yeah. Tomlin's not going to say, "Oh, I'm hiring that guy. I don't need to hear
Yeah,
from
sign
you
him
at
up
all."
here. Give him the paperwork.
Yeah.
They don't do that, but they communicate.
Oh,
but yes,
yeah.
it's understood. Tomlin needs to work with that individual. Tomlin needs to trust that individual. But all the hierarchy questions, all of them, and we get them every day, can be addressed that way. And it's not very sexy because it doesn't allow for single individualized blame.
Yeah. No narratives to push on that one.
Michael says that Jonnu might have a chip on his shoulder versus Miami. He will not. He will not. Jonnu's not a chip on the shoulder kind of guy, first of all.
He's really easygoing.
He really is.
He's really easygoing.
And the other thing about Jonnu is, what would Miami have done to tick him off? He just had the season of his life
Right.
with the Dolphins. All they did was feed him the football. I wouldn't look at it too much here. Casey Kester wants to know why the Steelers in general aren't using their tight ends. I think really it's just another Pat question, because especially once Darnell went out,
Yeah.
it's either why did you stop using Darnell after he looked like he was the ultimate
Right.
offensive weapon?
Throwing the ball every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Darnell goes out and Pat doesn't even make it onto the field. I'm sorry, once he, I'm getting that backward. Pat only made it onto the field after Darnell was out.
Yeah, I'm not in agreement with that at all. I mean, the Steelers use tight ends at a higher rate just because they're not targeted every single time. I mean, Sean McVay uses a boatload of tight ends, but doesn't mean that they are earning a whole bunch of targets either.
Yeah, if anyone has a chip here, says Musk, it's Minkah. Now that's different.
That's a little different.
That's different. Minkah got legitimately disrespected on the way out the door.
Yeah.
Minkah knows that he was traded because the Steelers did not see him as an $18 million player, and they saw him as a lesser player than what he'd been. I'm not sure they're wrong. I'm not necessarily I'm saying this actually happened.
Yeah.
He might be Minkah from that Cincinnati game, the opener a couple of years ago, where he's just going around tearing people's heads off.
That type of a game, it's going to be over pretty quick. He kind of took that over. Even then, like that was.
But on the Pittsburgh side, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, who's obviously a hothead and a half, I don't know that he would hold some kind of grudge against Miami. He asked to get out of there. They obliged. The end.
Yeah.
But Minkah, that's different.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same with
Minkah was a
Minkah.
Steeler. You guys got to understand that. I say that in the most positive possible context.
Yeah.
Minkah was a Steeler. As Troy Polamalu used to say, you would always take the most pride as a Steeler in knowing that when you were talking with your predecessors in Pittsburgh who had won championships, he could have played with us. I could have played with them.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
remember? Mm-hmm. In fact, that might have been part of his Hall of Fame speech, as I recall, because he was looking at those legends that were sitting there in the row, in the crowd, and he was saying, could have played with us, could have played with us. Well, Minkah could have played.
Oh, yeah.
The peak Minkah could have played for any Steelers in any era.
Absolutely. I mean,
Peak Minkah.
Imagine what Minkah would have done. I mean, take Ryan Clark off of those defenses in the 2000s and put Minkah.
Different player. Also, different time and different rules.
But I'm saying same position, both free safeties.
RC wouldn't be much of a player in today's NFL.
No, Minkah would have been more of a ball hawk for sure, but he would have also been able to lay the same type of hits that Ryan Clark did too.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Oh, no, I said same, that's why I said same type. We also haven't gotten a chance to see Minkah be able to unload on human beings the way Ryan Clark did because rules prevent Minkah from doing so. I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Clark. He had some of the hardest hits I've ever seen in my life.
And he was a perfect partner for Troy.
Yes, 100%. I'm not saying that, hey, those defenses would have been better without Ryan Clark. Not saying that at all. Those defenses had the perfect blend of everybody at every single position.
Our last subject for today before we sign off comes in from Mr. Moonshine, who says, how many snaps did Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Adam Thielen play on offense? Well, Chris looks up the snaps. I can see him over there doing it already. I will say that it was not surprising, but nonetheless striking that when the subject of these two guys being out there as much as they were came up with Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers credited them for their professionalism. And that's not a word you want to throw around lightly as it relates to, they just came in and replaced somebody else. Rodgers felt that their accurate route running, that their precision route running, their understanding of what they were supposed to do contributed to the Ravens not necessarily paying full attention to DK Metcalf. Now, the Ravens were still dumb about this. They should have doubled Metcalf the entire game. Mm-hmm. But if there's anything to the fact that these guys ran the right routes, Thielen just ended up with the one catch, the 2 targets, but how many snaps?
Thielen had 25, which was 48%.
Yeah.
And then MVS was at 16, which is the same number as Calvin Austin. Thielen had the second most snaps of any receiver. Metcalf obviously was number 1. But Thielen comes in and right away is already, in terms of snap count, WR2.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something if he just, another week, an extended week really, of practice, another chance to get into the playbook.
The extra day,
The extra day, which still counts, even if you're not necessarily at the facility or whatever, a chance to assimilate a little bit. Mm-hmm. If these guys can be a real variable against the Dolphins, that would be interesting.
Players are off today, off tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, there will be no practices and stuff.
No practice tomorrow.
Nothing, actually.
No, they're completely off. Tomlin's giving them an extra day to rest.
They were jokingly referring to that as Victory Wednesday when they were first discussing it, by the way, in Baltimore.
Typically they get Victory Monday, but it's Victory Wednesday this week.
Ease up on Roman Wilson here. Denny says nobody respects Roman Wilson or Cal, no matter how much we love them. I don't know who loves and who doesn't love them, but I do know that when Tomlin was asked about why Wilson was the scratch rather than Scotty Miller, his answer was a technical one. It was that Scotty Miller is the backup punt returner.
Yeah.
They have to build their game day lineups like that.
Yeah.
And we don't think much about it in advance. But then there comes a situation where Logan Lee's your long snapper. Why?
true.
Because he took a couple extra snaps on Friday or something on Saturday before that game. Where was that? I can't even remember now. It was earlier this year.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, he is the emergency
was
long
preseason.
snapper. Yeah,
It was preseason.
that doesn't surprise me. He is the good one.
So, all right, guys. Well, listen. If you're a hockey fan, head over to our Penguins channel here on YouTube.
DK Pittsburgh Sports Pipe Penguins.
Pipe.
Just search DK Pittsburgh Sports Penguins.
I know.
wants nothing
I'm
to do
just,
with the
I'm
pipe
being
terminology.
facetious here.
Head on over there. We're going to do a double shot of Penguins in advance of the Penguins playing the youngest team I've ever seen. They're over at the hotel here across the street, the Ducks. I went over there for the coffee.
The Mighty Ducklings.
They're like children. They're young, they're fast, they're also in first place. A lot of fun
You
to
guys need to
watch.
change costumes.
Oh yeah, we got to change costumes. Okay, see you guys.